Okay, so when you're getting into Node.js or even using it daily, you often think about, all the packages you install.
Like the NPM stuff.
Exactly. But there's this whole layer of things that are just there, available everywhere in your code without needing an import or require.
The global elements.
Mm.
And the special process object, too, which is kind of like the program's nerve center.
And understanding these isn't just like beginner stuff, it's fundamental, wouldn't you say?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, truly, getting how these work is key for writing code that's, solid,
Yeah.
robust, efficient. It affects how you handle errors, configuration, interacting with the system.
Okay, so that's our golden. Let's really unpack the most useful globals and especially dig into this process object, see what makes it tick.
Sounds good. Where should we start? Maybe the simplest interactions first.
Yeah, like just getting stuff out. Console seems like the obvious one.
Right. Console.log, console.error, console.warn, your basic toolkit for printing messages, debugging .essential stuff.
Couldn't live without console.log. And then there's knowing where you are. That's file name and dir name.
Exactly. File name gives you the full path, including the file name itself.
Okay.
And dir name just gives you the path to the directory containing the file. Super useful.
Ah, right. So if you need to load, say, a config file that lives next to your script, dir name is the way to go. Makes it reliable.
Precisely. It doesn't matter where you actually run the node command from. Dir name always points to the script's own folder.
Got it. Okay, let's pivot to the big one, the process object. You called it the nerve center.
Yeah, I think that fits. It's this global object that's your window and your control panel for the actual running Node.js process. It connects your code to the operating system, basically.
So what are some key things it gives us? I know command line arguments are in there somewhere.
Yeah, that's process.rgv. It's an array.
An array.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the first element is typically the path to Node itself, the executable.
Mm.
The second is the path to the script you're running.
And then everything after that.
There's whatever arguments you typed on the command line. So if you run node myscript.js nv production, NAJP 8080.
Then process.rdv would have like node myscript.js nv production might be 8080. Something like that.
Exactly like that. You can parse that array to control your script's behavior. Of course, libraries can help with complex parsing, but this is the raw data.
Makes sense. What about environment variables? That's huge for configuration.
Definitely. That's process.env. It's an object, and its properties are the environment variables that were set when the process started.
So things like database URL or epic key, you'd access them with process.env.database URL.
Correct. And this is absolutely critical for keeping secrets out of your code base and for configuring apps differently for development versus production without changing the code itself.
Right. Never hard code secrets.
Please don't. And a key thing to remember here, all values in process.env are strings. Always.
Ah, good point. So if you set portee 8080, process.env.por will be the string 8080, not the number.
Exactly. You need to convert it if you need a number, like parse it. Process.env.portd, AGL, 10. Forgetting that catches people out.
Okay, argv for command line args and for environment variables. What about the working directory? Is that their name?
No, that's different. Process.cwd, current working directory. That tells you the directory from which you launched the node process.
Oh, I see. So if I'm a home user and I run node projects, my appindex.js, process.cwd is home user.
Right, but dir name inside index.js would be home user projects my app. They can be different, and knowing which one you need is important.
Got it. And how do you stop the process from within the code?
Process.exit. You can optionally pass it an exit code, which is just an integer.
Like 0 for success.
Conventionally, yes. 0 means everything went okay. Any non-zero number usually signals some kind of error or specific condition. It tells the shell or whatever, call your script, how things ended up.
Okay, so we have inputs, environment, location, stopping. Seems pretty comprehensive.
And there's more. You have direct access to standard input, output, and error streams with process.stdin, process.stdo, process.stdir, lower level than console. You can get the process ID, process.st, find out how long the process has been running, process.uptime, lots of operational details.
We should also quickly mention the other common globals, like the timers, set timeout, set interval.
Oh yeah, definitely. Crucial for any kind of asynchronous work, delaying execution, running things periodically. Part of the core async model.
And of course, the module system itself require module exports.
Right, the foundation of CommonJS, which is Node's classic way of organizing code into files and sharing functionality. Even with ES modules, import-export becoming more common.
You still need to understand require because so much existing Node code uses it.
Absolutely. It's fundamental to how Node apps have been built for years.
So bringing it all together, these globals and the process object, they're not just features, they're really the interface between your script and, well, everything
Yeah.
else. The OS, the user, other files, time.
That's a great way to put it. They are the essential bridges.
Which leads to maybe a final thought for you listening.
Yeah, consider this. The process object gives you a lot of insight and control, command line args, environment secrets, process ID, current directory, standard I/O streams, exiting the program.
Mm-hmm.
So thinking about all that power,
Mm-hmm.
how does really mastering process, understanding both its capabilities and its potential security implications, change how you might approach building your next application? How could you use it more effectively for configuration? Or perhaps, how do you need to be more careful with the information it exposes? Something to think about.